Horror Fanatic here, and I want to talk to you about this book, Maplecroft by Sherry Priest. Sherry Priest isn't an author I wasn't unfamiliar with going into this. I'm familiar with her work as the author of Bone Shaker. It's a book that my friends really raved about, but I haven't actually read. Though, if it's as good as Maplecroft, I'm definitely going to have to give it a read, as I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed the setup for the book, the overall format, as journal entries, telling stories from shifting viewpoints, and often overlapping the same sequence of events and seeing them from different angles. I really liked that. I also liked how it stuck really true to H.P. Lovecraft's flavor and writing style. Honestly, I've only read a little bit of H.P. Lovecraft. I could probably count all of the titles on one hand. That said, you can really feel his influences here, and it's a lot more clear here than it was in Revival. But the premise is that Lizzie Borden did in fact take an axe to both of her parents, and it was because they were turning into... I really love the premise that Lizzie Borden did in fact take an axe and give her parents a number of whacks. But the reasoning is this because they were turning into Cthulhuian fish monsters. And I really liked that. I liked the slow transformation. I'm a big fan of body horror. And this book does that really well through Nance, who's actually... I really liked that character, as deceitful as it was. Though my favorite, I would actually have to say, was Dr. Sansbury. I really dug that guy. I also like that no one comes out of this clean. Everyone's touched with a little bit of madness. I also like that we never see what the actual opponent is, the problem. We only hear it out in the sea calling to them, and we see the bits that it casts off to be found. The glass that calls to people, the magic that changes people, all of that is just symptoms of this greater thing that we never get to see. And I really like the unknown of that. Overall, I thought the book was really strong. It has very good imagery. It has very great pacing. I loved that they kept the love interest in here. I also liked that there was no weak characters in this book. All of the characters felt capable, and that they were trying. It didn't feel like any of the characters weren't giving it their all, and it felt like none of the characters were a burden on another. And this includes Emma, who I think they actually would have gotten further had they included her more. I also liked the setting. The time period added a lot of flavor. I love that it actually has a taste of the time, is the best way to phrase it. I have a hard time typically reading... Okay. I liked the flavor of this book for the time period. I know it's a modern book, but the way it's written with older language, while not correct, I can actually read this. I really like that. Sometimes, I'm not saying they're bad, but older authors are hard for me to get through. Next month comes another request. This time, my friends gave me the book Let Me In by John... I'll learn how to pronounce that by next time. Alright. See you next month.